Thanks to the support as a channel member, Be On Edge. And as I've said a couple of times throughout the series already, thank you for the incredible support on the first few episodes. We smashed our likes target. We got loads of retweets, loads of comments. The series is going really well. And it's all thank you to the support and the interaction we've had on it. And as a result of that, I do have my 2 giveaway winners to announce. There were 2 giveaways we did back on episode 1. One for retweeting on Twitter. That was won by this chap over on Twitter. Babatunde, I think that's pronounced. I apologize if I've got your name wrong. They've already had their code through their DMs. And the other winner was Jonathan Wigmore out of the comments, who I've asked to email me because I can't actually contact them directly. They were making football or FIFA videos 14 years ago. That's before I was doing YouTube. They won the other code. Thank you very much to both of you. And of course, thank you to everybody else who entered. Your support is very much appreciated. And don't worry, I've still got a few more codes for FM26 to give away. So we'll be doing some more in episode 1 of Non-League to Legend, which is only like a week, 8 days away? The 4th of November, Non-League to Legend begins. We'll have 2 more codes to give away then. Hopefully the game will be fully fixed by then. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But believe it or not, we're not just here to do game giveaways today. We also have a very important January transfer window to take care of for Arsenal. As you can see, we've got big money to spend, £67 million in our transfer budget, £384,000 a week spare in the wage budget, and we've also got a few players who want to leave, so there's going to be some ins and some outs. And my plan for this video, a little bit different from a typical video, is to take you through the transfer window, see who comes in, who goes out. Norgard, Madueke, Marino, they're all on the transfer list at their own request, or Norgard and Madueke are. Apparently Marino maybe I convinced to stick around, but there's a few other players who are wanted. We're not going to be letting Ethan Ranieri leave, for example. Although I have listed him for loan, which I might unlist him for loan. I don't really want to loan him out. And we've got Real Madrid looking at Gabriel. We've got Bayern Munich looking at Kai Havertz. So there could be some big business done. And then in addition to any big business that gets done, we also have the small matter of a Premier League game against Liverpool, who are currently top of the league. So we will show you that match as well, which, let's face it, it's must win. We're 8 points behind them at the halfway point of the season. If we're to have any chance at all of winning the league, we need to beat them, go on a winning run, and hope us beating them derails their season. It's a tall order, but let's start things off, hopefully, with some transfers. Well, we've had a pretty bright start to our transfer window because we've just bought a very expensive football boy, Diogo Costa, £61 million release clause. He was like the go-to goalkeeper in FM24. It's going to be very interesting to see if that is still the case in FM26. As far as current ability and potential ability goes, he is an upgrade on David Raya. We've seen in the last couple of episodes that Raya potentially not as good in game as he is in real life. So it was an area that we needed to strengthen, and he comes straight in. That's not what I was trying to click. Where's my squad planner? I'm learning the icons still, but he comes straight in as our best goalkeeper, considerably better than Raya. That's not the only transfer business we've got going on as well. As you can see, we also have an offer from Kai Havertz from Bayern Munich for £57 million. We did turn down a loan offer for Madueke because they didn't want to, I think it was Juventus were offering us. In fact, it wasn't a loan offer. It was like a £30 million offer. And I want to get our money back on Madueke. We only spent £60 million on him in the summer. So I'm happy to keep him around. He's young enough and a good enough backup to stick around if no one's going to meet its value. But we have had Mikel Marino now ask for a transfer, and I am not against Marino leaving. So Havertz probably on his way. If he does go, we are going to need to sign another striker. So we are actively on the lookout for a striker at the moment on our transfer requirements. Don't know if we've got any strikers that have started to come through on this yet. Ivan Toney. See, Ivan Toney is a rotation option with Gyökeres. I think if we could get him for a decent price, might not be a disaster. We'll see. We'll keep scouting for now. But yeah, we're also possibly considering a right back and a replacement for Madueke if need be. But before any of that, it is the Liverpool game. And as much as I said we needed to put some pressure on Liverpool, they dropped points. So did we. We drew against Bournemouth. They also dropped points in their previous game, so it's down to a 7-point gap. Obviously, that means if we beat them, it becomes a 4-point gap with almost half of the season still to go. That does start to become interesting, but we've lost to them twice already. It's not going to be easy to beat them. This is the first time we'll have played them at the Emirates. So our team is in goal on his debut. What a big call. Diogo Costa. He arrived at the club yesterday, but we're going to give him his debut. A back four of Lewis Skelly, Gabriel Saliba and Timber. Tchouaméni and Rice in midfield. Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right, Odegaard, then behind Gyökeres. And hopefully I'm not going to live to regret throwing Costa in at the deep end. Like I say, we've seen in a couple of matches over the episodes already on this series, we've seen Raya potentially be a little bit of a problem. So I'm not worried about not using Raya. I am worried about throwing a brand new goalkeeper in to what is, I mean, unless we go on and win the Champions League, this is probably going to be the biggest, most important game of our season, this home game against Liverpool. And it's a big ask for a debut, but fingers crossed. He justifies why we've just spent £61 million to all in one go, by the way, because it was a release clause. So £61 million all in one go is a big transfer. And that is 23 seconds on the clock. And Martin Odegaard has scored. Now, remember, when we played Liverpool away from home earlier in the season, right at the start of the season, Bukayo Saka scored after like 2 minutes and we ended up conceding 5 goals that day. So we're not going to get too excited, but that's great from Odegaard. And that is 1-0. And I mean, let's thump them. They're starting to have a little bit of a wobble after an excellent start to the season. Presumably, they are going to be impacted by the African Cup of Nations as well, where they're going to have quite a few of their key players. I say quite a few. Salah. Are there any others? Do they have any other African players at Liverpool? I need to see the team to remind me who they've got. But, I mean, even just losing Salah is a pretty big loss for them. Whereas I don't know that we lose anybody. I'm looking for our squad. I don't think we do, at least from the first team. I don't know that we lose anybody. So, I mean, it potentially opens the door. Obviously, it's not ideal to have us conceding less than 4 minutes on the clock. And Florian Wirtz is a huge problem. He has caused us all manner of issues in both of the games we played against them previously. And he's already picked himself up an assist today as well. So I guess it might be a high-scoring game today. And Diogo Costa, first opportunity to make a save in an Arsenal shirt, fluffs his lines. I mean, we're not gonna blame him entirely for it. We're not going to blame him at all for it. You know I love a goalkeeper's cape. That's a lovely ball from Timber. Oh, Gyökeres is Mr. Sitter. I mean, I would question whether Odegaard's been fouled there. He got himself into a great position again. But it ended up falling to Gyökeres and he has just absolutely skied it, which is not ideal. See, that looked like an insane pass for Wirtz to play, but it's actually perfect. Lands on Chiesa and Liverpool try and get an attack up and running again. And they look very, very comfortable. Still only 6 minutes into this match. Are we only on key highlights? It seems like there's a lot going on. We are only on key highlights. There's just a lot going on. It's obviously a big game. This would be an opportunity to potentially mess around with dynamic highlights. It's something I need to experiment a little bit more before I use it consistently in videos, at least for anything other than like a big final. When I played around with it previously, it seemed to be based on extended rather than key and would extended. And we ended up with some very long matches playing on dynamic highlights, which I guess for a situation like this, going forward wouldn't be a disaster. If this was towards the end of the season, a proper title decider, maybe. But it is only January and it is a bit of a long shot, hoping we insert ourselves into the title race. But you never know. A win today, fingers crossed, etc., etc. Right, Rice playing it forward to Martinelli. And now it's back with Lewis Skelly, of course, tucking in, taking up that playmaker position. Now Gyökeres into Martinelli. Oh, that was close. I am slowly coming around to your way of thinking, by the way, boys and girls. This 1.25 speed, you certainly do get to appreciate more what's going on in the match. So I do get it. I also do see the feedback I'm getting about the 2D view being super fast. The only problem is, if it wasn't, the matches would take even longer than they already do. That's got to be offside. And matches in FM26 already take a long time. So I don't want to I don't want to add any more to that. This better be getting disallowed, ref. Are you kidding me? He was miles offside. And it looks like it's going to be a repeat of the first league game. We've gone ahead early, and now Liverpool have, within 20 minutes, gone ahead of us. We need an immediate goal back, or this is going to be them scoring another 4 or 5 goals against us. There you go. This is the offside. So he was offside, is what we're seeing there. Thanks, VAR. Glad you're here. I mean, that's 100% offside, right? Hideous. Well, are we kicking off again? Or was that just a free kick? That looked like we kicked off again. Right, Martinelli dances into the air. It's a lovely ball across from Martinelli. And Gyökeres forces it behind for the corner. And nothing comes of the corner. And it is very frustrating to look at those match stats. Liverpool on an XG of 0.7 have scored twice. We're on an XG of 1.7 and have only scored once. Gyökeres has had a couple of big chances. That's good work from Saka, though. Plays it in Gyökeres again. And it's another good save from Alisson in goal for Liverpool. And this is proper end-to-end stuff. You're getting your money's worth on this one, boys and girls. But unfortunately, Liverpool getting their money's worth on their Wirtz and Isak partnership, which, I mean, I like Gyökeres and Odegaard as a two, but I don't think they're quite on the level of Wirtz and Isak, at least not in Football Manager. Right, Saka has come deep and inside again, plays across to Martinelli, just needs to square it to Gyökeres. He does, and he scores, and it's 2-2, and we have got our fairly quick reply. Still only 33 minutes on the clock. It's Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2. And these are two very good football teams that are battling it out with each other here. This is a good goal, though. And Gyökeres showing why he's our top scorer. He's just a very efficient finisher. And it's good work from both Saka and Martinelli to get things up and running in the wide areas. And now I thought it was us on the attack, but it's actually Liverpool who've got the ball and they're just knocking it around relatively comfortably around their back four. And we would like to take the ball off them, please. I mean, this kick clash, by the way, not great for my red-green colour blindness, especially when both teams are wearing white shorts. But there's Costa, look, clinging on to the football in an Arsenal shirt. Doesn't he look good? It suits him. Apparently, he doesn't want to do any distribution, though, which is a little bit disappointing. I wanted to see him get a counter-attack up and running for us. It would have been beautiful. Right, we are into the 42nd minute now. And I mean, everything seems to have slowed down. The sting has come out of this a little bit. I question whether this is a key highlight, watching Konate take 5 seconds to decide to take a free kick. But I suspect Liverpool are going to score from it, and that's why we've had to sit through it. There is Salah bursting through. Oh, my word. That's probably the chance of the game for Liverpool. That was more of a chance than either of the two that they scored, especially because one of them they cheated because they were offside for. By rights, we should be 2-1 up in this game if only actual goals counted. But this is why I don't do my own media after the match, because I'll get myself in trouble with my mouth, as I am wont to do on occasion. Right, no changes at half-time. It's 2-2. We just need to go on and win the game. If we have a look at the league table to remind you again how close things are at the top, a win here would mean 2 games without a win for Liverpool. It closes the gap and it starts to cause them to wobble a little bit. It would be huge. A draw just doesn't really help us. It's still a fairly unassailable gap, I think. 7 points with us not being able to beat them in either of the matches we played against them is not ideal. It's a lovely pass from Lewis Skelly across to Timber. And now Saka, who's been quite deep today, but it's back with Lewis Skelly. And now Gyökeres out to Martinelli, who's got loads of space. Martinelli into the area and then stopped, but then plays it into Odegaard, who'd burst forward. And it's another corner for us. And we haven't really capitalised on set pieces as much as I would have liked. And there's another example of it. Right, Odegaard with his trademark FM26 Mohawk. It's come back off the crossbar. The keeper was beaten. There was a looping header. And that was very nearly an absolutely huge goal for us from a set piece. It'd be so unlike Arsenal. But the highlight just kind of peters out. Martinelli's had a fantastic game today, involved in absolutely everything. Right. who have we got who's going to come on and be a match winner for us? We've got Trossard, we've got Havertz, we've got Eze, we've got Jesus. We've got a lot of attacking options. And I think we're going to controversially take off Saka, who's not had the best of games. And I think we bring on Eze and do that. Martinelli goes over to the right-hand side. And then I might even take off Odegaard and bring on Havertz as a better finisher and get Havertz in there. And then Lewis Skelly can just come off for Calafiori. That's easy. Lewis Skelly's tiring. I think we probably go attacking. We need to win. A draw's no use to us. We're going to go attacking. We've mixed up the front four a little bit. And now Rice with the corner. It's going to be that in-swinger for the far post where Saliba is lurking and Alisson tips it just over the crossbar. And it's back with Rice. And now Calafiori, Tchouaméni, and no. It's back in the keeper's hands again. And we are, I mean, look at the XG we've created today. We've had so many chances and we're just not finishing clinically enough. And it is quite frustrating. Now we're trying to play the ball out from the back and it's with Eze. And he goes past his man and he has got space to run into and red shirts in the middle to aim for, one of which is Kai Havertz. Gyökeres is in there. Martinelli's in there. It's a corner. And Ekitike has just come on for Isak, so they're freshening things up as well. But it's another Declan Rice corner, another in-swinger. This time he's gone for that near post, and it was Saliba again that he's aimed for. I don't know why we're aiming for him rather than Gabriel, but again, he's not. I mean, we've had 23 shots today, but only 6 of them on target. It's very frustrating. Right, Martinelli is going to come off now for Trossard or Jesus? Trossard or Jesus? Jesus. We're going to give him a go. And I think we're also going to bring on Ben White for Timber. Just energy in the wider areas. Quite important at this stage of the match. Right, Gyökeres has come deep. It's a poor pass though, and Chiesa intercepts for Liverpool. And now they've got the opportunity to knock it around amongst their back four and try and get a counter-attack of their own going. It's with Chiesa on the left, plays it forward to Jones, who's our number 15, or Tchouaméni, and that's really frustrating. I was too busy looking at who's wearing what number, and Florian Wirtz has scored again against us. And he has been an absolute thorn in our side all season. And this just seems to be becoming a little bit of a theme. We got FM'd in the North London derby, and now we're getting FM'd in a huge match that's basically a title decider. And our new £61 million goalkeeper has palmed it right into the path of one of the best players in the Premier League. We've gone very attacking. Look at the state of those match stats. There is no way at all we should be losing this football match. But we're going to lose it comfortably now, aren't we? Because we're going to concede another one. Right, Jesus, who's another one who I'm not against selling in this transfer window. White, I ask you what is going on here. And Tchouaméni's been sent off. I don't even know what for. Apparently he did a shocking tackle. Did that happen off camera? Did he break McAllister? Oh, it gets worse, doesn't it? Can we can't confirm changes. Do we have to change something? Can we just, there you go, we'll just X out of it. We didn't make any changes. And now we're down to 10 men. Liverpool are going to score again. They've hit the crossbar. I thought we were going to give away a penalty there as well, just to really finish things off. But, I mean, we're into the 84th minute. I mean, I guess I could have made a change to our shape rather than leaving Declan Rice all on his own. But you know what? Calafiori will get in there and help him. We can't be sacrificing players from the attack when we've got to go chasing an equaliser. If we do manage to get an equaliser now, I guess at that point we do settle for the draw, but it doesn't help us in terms of winning the league. There is Calafiori helping out Declan Rice in the middle, and there's Kai Havertz who's through on goal, and he does have the equaliser. 89 minutes on the clock. And I think we're going to stay very attacking. We are going to throw caution to the wind and we are going to try and get ourselves into this title race. At the start of the episode, a draw was no good. That situation has not changed just because we've gone down to 10 men. A draw doesn't help us. A defeat doesn't matter. It's no worse than a draw in the grand scheme of things. We must win, so we must keep attacking, and we're going to stay on that very attacking instruction. There's 5 minutes of added time. Can we go and grab a very unlikely late winner when we're down to 10 men? It doesn't look like we can, because we're not even going to get another highlight. And that, boys and girls, is why you turn dynamic highlights on. 3-3. I mean, I guess we can't complain too much, but I look at those match stats and it does kind of make me want to complain a bit. We were unlucky, but I mean, it's demonstrating that we're making progress, but it's too little too late. Unless Liverpool crumble, we're too far behind and we're 7 points behind. We don't play them anymore. It's not ideal. Right. My plan from here: get us through to the end of the transfer window, wrap up and show you what transfers we've done, and then call it a day for the episode. I'm very disappointed at how that football match has gone. Very upsetting. Well, I think it's fair to call that a frustrating transfer window in the end. As you can see, we did sell Kai Havertz to Bayern Munich for £46 million. We thought we had his replacement in the shape of Nico Williams to offer us something a little bit different in the squad. We had an £82 million deal arranged for him, and he decided instead to sign an extension at is it Bilbao? Is that who does he play for? Yeah, Bilbao. Which then kind of threw everything off completely, because in order to pay for him, in addition to selling Havertz, we'd also sold a couple more players that we might not have sold ordinarily. So Ricardo Calafiori is on the players out list somewhere. There he is. He's gone to Juventus for £40 million. Havertz, like I say, to Bayern Munich for £46 million. We sold some fringe players as well. But having lost Havertz and Calafiori, I admit I did panic a little bit. Gonçalo Ramos, pretty happy with. He's come in from Paris Saint-Germain for a pretty reasonable, where is it? Where did it show me? £36 million. But then I panicked and spent £45 million on Mason Mount, which I'm not proud of. We don't really need him. It was because I was also expecting Mikel Merino to leave. He hasn't yet. He might still be leaving on loan. We do still have an ongoing potential departure for Merino. And we were due to have Merino and Norgard both leave. Neither of them have left in the end. So I figured Mount would be a good replacement for Havertz, Merino, Norgard, kind of all in one go, and potentially Madueke as well, who wanted out, but we couldn't agree a price with Juventus or Paris Saint-Germain for Madueke. So I figured Mount would be a nice replacement for all of them, but none of them have left. So now we've got Mount in, who's like 8th choice in all the positions that he can play, and he's probably not going to play any football for us at all, at least before the end of the season. So he's just going to get upset before the end of the season. But at least we do have a proper backup striker now, which we didn't really have before. But Ramos, I think, in terms of how we want to play, Ramos is more of a like-for-like replacement for what we've got with Gyökeres. So I think Ramos is an upgrade on what we had with Havertz. Obviously, Costa is an upgrade on Raya. And then Mason Mount. He's useful strength in depth. He can play anywhere in those 5 midfield positions. So he's useful to have. It just would have looked even more useful and an even better transfer if we'd have got rid of the 3 or 4 players that he could have effectively covered for in the squad. But we didn't. Not ideal. We've also got money left as well. I don't know if you have a next gen day at FM26. I've not made it that far yet, but if we do, we've got some money to spend on next gen day. Although we do need to put some of this into wage budget first, just to make sure that we stay nicely within our budgets. As far as form has gone, while all that's been going on, we have continued to win consistently. So in the Champions League, we ended up finishing second, I think. How do we show stages? I think we go in there. There you go. So yeah, we finished second behind Liverpool, who our only defeat was against Liverpool. Liverpool are just a nightmare for us in both competitions. and literally are going to be the team that stop me winning trophies during this beta save, I think. And we're 7 points behind them in the league. The chances of them effectively losing 3 games out of their remaining 14 while we win relentlessly feels slim, but we will keep pursuing it. And if we can't win the Premier League, we'll give winning the Champions League a good go. And hopefully when we come back tomorrow, we'll be in the latter stages of the Champions League and still in contention in the league with Mason Mount as our star player. Who knows? But that all feels like problems for future Kev. So if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.